Welcome back to Adelante Chicago. Let's have a conversation about how speaking a second language will help you. We've always, just assumed this, but now there is actual research to back it up. Employers are saying that they will hire more bilingual staff in the coming year. And so joining us to talk a little bit about this research is Northern Illinois University's Dr. James Cohen. He is assistant professor of ESL and bilingual education in the College of Education. I think I got all that right.
You did, yes.
Nice to have you, sir.
Thank you.
So this is very interesting research because it's for the very first time you link up bilingual education to actual employment. Why did you decide to do this?
Well, it's part of a program that we're having at Northern Illinois University called Celebrate Bilingualism. Okay. And we are offering literally 12 free credits. 12 free credits, which is essentially a full semester of college coursework.
Can get expensive, we know, yeah.
For free, if you can demonstrate you're bilingual and biliterate in English and one other language. So we wanted to see what the business community and the nonprofit agencies in the community we're thinking of the concept of bilingualism.
Yeah, because it all has to translate into employment and making a living eventually.
Absolutely. So right now, about 1/3 of all businesses are looking for candidates who are bilingual. And within the next 5 years, the survey that we put out, within the next 5 years, about 50% are actually going to be looking for people who are bilingual. So, I mean, that's really wonderful.
Yeah, so it shows you for a college the need to have this focus on that. On this show, we obviously concentrate on the Latino community in Spanish, but is that the, I guess, ideal language that employers are looking for, or do we have a list of other languages that might help somebody out there watching? Right.
Well, the largest percentage is Spanish, of course, but then we have Polish also. And because there's a very large Polish population.
Is that second on the list other than Spanish? Maybe yes. Polish is a language that you should know.
Polish is number 2, and Mandarin Chinese is number 3 because of a lot of the trade that we have with China now. Yeah. So those are the 3 main languages that we found in the survey.
So the French I took in junior high is not going to help me at all, right?
Unless you want to go to France or North Africa. Yeah.
All right. So as you study some of these industries, are there particular jobs, careers that are focusing more on this bilingual education? So for example, if you're interested in the tech sector, we've often talked a lot about the STEM fields. Are those the types of fields that we're talking about?
Actually, to be honest, all fields. All fields are getting into hiring more bilingual candidates. So for example, I know I'm a professor of ESL and bilingual education. So I work with teachers, both pre-service and in-service, to help them learn most effective strategies, et cetera, working with English language learners in the schools. And there's rarely a week that goes by that I do not get a phone call or an email from a superintendent, a principal, assistant superintendent, somebody from the school districts, emailing, calling me, asking me, do you have a bilingual candidate? Do you have a teacher, a bilingual student graduating in bilingual education?
That's interesting because we actually also have another story that's, I think, in the next block that talks about the White House sort of putting together this initiative on Latino Teach, meaning trying to get more bilingual teachers out in schools because we do have such a high rate of Latino students in our public school system. So it makes perfect sense.
Yeah, and the idea of getting a job is why people go to college, right? So the superintendents that I've spoken with, they literally, this is what their story is. They say, if you get a regular elementary education degree, your application resume is put here. Yeah. If you get an ESL endorsement, it's put on top. Wow. If you're bilingual, which is the same classes as the ESL endorsement, just you have to demonstrate that you're bilingual and biliterate.
Yeah.
On top of that, you are literally worth your weight in platinum. I mean, to be bilingual is wonderful.
And not just in the education field, but in so many others.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm going to read through some of the things that you've got in here. We mentioned half of all employers in Northern Illinois plan to hire more bilingual or multilingual college students within 5 years. So that's the #1 stat. More than 7 in 10 employers believe that communicating effectively in more than one language can enhance customer retention. Out of all the things that you found on here, what struck you the most as you were doing this research and talking to these employers about who exactly they want to hire?
That first one, the first statistic. The business community is really smart. They don't buy into English-only ideology, they don't buy into ideology. They think about the bottom line. What's going to make my business more successful? if my clientele, my customers are bilingual or speak another language, why shouldn't I hire salespeople or customer relations people to be able to work
be in
with
that
them?
field, yeah.
I mean, it's a no-brainer. So it's because we have, you know, and the United States really is a multilingual country. It always has been. And so the business community is smartly so tapping into that resource.
So it's changing some of the things that you're doing at NIU to get more bilingual education. Is it changing the mindset of other universities throughout the country? Are you seeing more of this trend on bilingual education?
Well, I know like in Illinois, all the major universities, all the state schools, many of the private schools, or actually probably all of whoever has a college of education, we do offer the ESL and bilingual endorsement. Every last one of us. It's 6 classes on top of your teaching certification. So I can't speak, besides that, I can't speak for other universities, but I know at Northern, we are absolutely searching for bilingual students because we understand the value of diversity, we understand the value of bilingualism, and you know, this survey is just an example.
Just shows you it makes a difference.
Exactly.
All right, thank you so much, Dr. Cohen. Very nice to have you. Keep doing research like this. We'd like to hear it.
My pleasure. Thank you so much
All
for
right,
having
where
me.
can people go if they want to look at the full report? Is there a website?
Yes, yeah, niu.edu.
Okay, sounds
Yeah.
good. Thank you so much.